It was first revealed 4 years ago, back in November 2019. It's managed to secure more than 2 million pre-reservations, and yet has also managed to be one of the most controversial vehicles to be revealed in the last 50 years, with a design that is incredibly divisive. Oh, as a reminder, pre-reservations aren't legally binding agreements that you're going to buy a vehicle. They're effectively a paid spot in the queue to get a chance to buy a vehicle later on, and are usually 100% refundable if you change your mind. It's important to note this because, as with any company and pre-reservations don't always equal sales, and some outlets that should know better have referred to Tesla making 2 million Cybertruck sales, which isn't accurate. Later this month, even though official specifications and pricing haven't been made public, and after its official launch has been pushed back multiple times in the last few years, Tesla will officially begin deliveries of its long-awaited Cybertruck. Eventually, Tesla hopes to produce upwards of 500,000 Cybertrucks per year at its Gigafactory in Texas, but during Tesla's most recent quarterly earnings call, Elon Musk cautioned that initial production volumes would be low and that ramp up to large-scale production would take some significant time. And this week, we learned that while a lucky few will be taking delivery of their Cybertruck soon, they might have to agree not to sell it for at least a year, before said agreement then seemed to vanish from the paperwork purchase agreement. So today, we are going to examine what's going on, ask if Tesla is actually legally requiring people to not sell their vehicle or not, whether it's changed its mind, and ask if it will affect Cybertruck sales. Let's dig in. Given that this video is going to discuss legally binding contracts, it's time for the usual disclaimer that I throw into videos that cover such topics, because if I don't, bad things might happen. I am not a lawyer, and I'm not giving any implicit or implied legal advice. But if you want a more official take on the subject of legal sales contracts, I'm going to push you in the direction of Steve Leto of Leto's Law, who's actually made a video on the subject right here. Earlier this week, several news sites leaked what was purported to be the latest version of Tesla's official sales contract available online, which appeared to add the following paragraph pertaining to Tesla Cybertruck sales.
For Cybertruck only. You understand and acknowledge that the Cybertruck will first be released in limited quantity. You agree that you will not sell or otherwise attempt to sell the vehicle within the first year following your vehicle's delivery date. Notwithstanding the foregoing, if you must sell the vehicle within the first year following its delivery date for any unforeseen reason, and Tesla agrees that your reason warrants an exception to its no reseller policy, you agree to notify Tesla in writing and give Tesla a reasonable time to purchase the vehicle from you at its sole discretion and at the purchase price listed on your final price sheet, less $0.25 per mile driven, reasonable wear and tear, and the cost to repair the vehicle to Tesla's used vehicle cosmetic and mechanical standards. If Tesla declines to purchase your vehicle, you may then resell your vehicle to a third party only after receiving written consent from Tesla. You agree that in the event you breach this provision, or that Tesla has a reasonable belief that you are about to breach this provision, Tesla may seek injunctive relief to prevent the transfer of title of the vehicle or demand liquidated damages from you in the amount of $50,000 or the value received as consideration for the sale or transfer, whichever is greater. Tesla may also refuse to sell you any future vehicles.
Oof. That's quite the clause, and it has caused some people, again reportedly, to threaten to not follow through with their Tesla Cybertruck purchase, something I will come to a little later on in this video. But just as quickly as it appeared, it now vanished, But just as quickly as it appeared, it's now vanished from Tesla's current sales contract, making some people question whether Tesla has decided against this policy for Cybertruck, essentially allowing sales to take place, or perhaps has decided to remove the clause from its general sales contract and instead to come up with a more discrete version of the same, specifically for Tesla Cybertruck customers at some point in the future. As is usually the case, as a member of the press, if you email Tesla a question about anything, you get the poop emoji in response. And to my knowledge, neither Elon Musk nor anyone at the company has clarified things much further than that. In the interests, though, of good reporting, it's important to note that right now, we don't know if the contract terms have just temporarily changed or if Tesla's had a change of heart. But honestly, that is not really the salient point of this video. We are instead going to look at the why and the how of all of this. Is it legal? Why might Tesla want to do this? And most importantly, what will this do to Tesla Cybertruck sales? First, is it legal? And again, I am not a lawyer, so take what I say with that in mind. But based on the legal people I have spoken to and the videos that those who are legal experts have made on this particular subject, yeah, it appears totally legal. When you're selling something, you can make a contract that includes special conditions like this. It is no different to buying a home with a restrictive covenant on it preventing you from doing certain things, or, as was the case when I purchased my own home, an easement requirement that forces you to give your neighbour free passage across your land to get to theirs. In this case, the contract that was posted online effectively just said, please don't sell this vehicle for the first year. If you do, then X or Y will happen. And to be super clear, this is also not the first time we've seen an automaker do this. Mainstream automakers do it from time to time for limited production models, and it is reasonably common in the luxury and prestige car market. Why? To ensure that really expensive, really prestigious cars only get sold to the type of people that said car company wants to see driving them, to protect the brand's image and the brand's legacy. There are several cases in the history books of luxury marques removing customers from wait lists for future models because they did something unmentionable with their current car or used it in a way that the automaker thought brung its mark into disrepute. Essentially, this isn't just a Tesla problem. Sure, you might have the $2 million you need to buy that new shiny hypercar sitting in your bank, or maybe in nice briefcases. But if you take your current model jumping hills in San Francisco for the YouTube lols, you might see that order cancelled before you can say, influencer. And again, it's within the right of the automaker to not sell you a car for whatever reason. Believe me, if a cake shop can refuse to serve you because you have the same private parts as your beloved, a car company can refuse your order. Legal precedents highlighted, let's look at the next concern: scalpers. At first glance of the original contract, it does appear that Tesla is not that eager to see early Tesla Cybertruck reservation owners cashing in on the fact that they're early in the queue, flipping their very early, very rare Cybertrucks for far more than they originally paid for them. Even though we don't know what the final purchase price for those early Cybertrucks will be, it is certainly fair to assume that they won't be very cheap, because launch editions of any vehicle rarely are, and past experiences have shown that people will and do cash in on scarcity. Pick any new electric vehicle to go on sale in the last few years, and you'll see examples of either individuals, or in the case of legacy automakers, dealerships, adding ridiculous markups to a vehicle's price. On the flip side, however, it is also easy to argue that people doing that are only able to do that because there's always someone, somewhere, willing to pay that extra money to avoid the queue and leverage their sizable disposable income to fix the fact that they weren't smart enough to put a pre-reservation in. Yay! Capitalism! I'll leave you to politely discuss the ethics of a free market capitalist ideal in the comments section. I personally find scalping to be particularly abhorrent, but I also acknowledge it works because there's always someone willing to pay extra. I also think, though, that we'd be kidding ourselves if we thought this was the only reason Tesla might want to implement a contractual prohibition on resale for the first 12 months. While Tesla is a mainstream automaker now, certainly in terms of market cap and revenue, it is still a relatively young company whose fortunes rely heavily on how it's perceived by the stock market. And I think there's a fair bit of implied narrative control going on. Tesla, as I've already noted, doesn't have a press department to speak of. It doesn't talk to the media all that much, and while it has recently begun more traditional advertising campaigns, the majority of its advertising still comes from word of mouth from existing owners and fans. That means it is in Tesla's best interest to make sure it not only knows who the owners are, but what they are likely to think of the company. Tesla wants those early Tesla Cybertruck customers to be folks who are all in on the brand, who are likely already customers, and who are, by definition, going to be more forgiving of early teething problems with the vehicle. And no, I am not insinuating that the Tesla Cybertruck will have more or less problems than any other vehicle that's now coming to market. It's good marketing to ensure that the earliest of customers for any vehicle, regardless of brand, are people who are going to be more sympathetic when problems occur, be willing to help the automaker resolve them, and frankly that's true for any vehicle type. If it does actually move forward and implement a resell clause, remember the jury's out on if it's been deleted forever or just removed from the online sales contract for now, Tesla does get some natural self-selection in its customer base. Those who may have wanted to resell their vehicle or maybe even had multiple reservations with a view to keep one and sell one get advance warning that Tesla thinks that's not okay, and they can opt to cancel one or more of their reservations. And that means more vehicles for those who actually want to keep them, which in turn, self-selecting, means they're likely to be more forgiving of any issues and will be more likely to work with Tesla to resolve them. And of course, by knowing who has a vehicle, it also allows Tesla to better track customer satisfaction, learn more how the vehicle is being used, and that in turn helps tweak future versions of the vehicle. I personally don't agree with this kind of policy wherever it comes from, but I also don't agree with scalping, and there's no perfect solution here. At the end of the day, if this helps more vehicles come to market sooner, helps more quickly solve inevitable teething problems, and make it easier for those who follow on, I think most people can get on board. Even like me, it doesn't feel great. Will it affect overall sales? At the end of the day, if someone is determined to get around the restrictions, they will. And those who aren't interested in selling their vehicle on won't mind it for the most part. And yeah, the argument that I purchased it, I should be able to do what I want with it, is a very valid one. But it's also becoming very difficult in today's modern software world to truly own any device that runs on software. Unless that is, you're open source, and even then, you make the purchase decisions that work for you. And as long as you're not cheating someone else out of something, doing something illegal, or breaking the golden rule, that probably makes how you feel between your chosen deity, or perhaps scientific principle, and nobody else. Thanks for joining me today, and if you've got any thoughts, make sure you leave them below in our Discord chat room, or you can reach out to us on Mastodon. Thanks to the amazing list of people scrolling by on your screen right now. They are some of the more than 1,500 people who help fund this channel through Patreon and YouTube, helping us cover our bills, pay our team, and making sure that we can remain 100% independent. If you'd like to join them and see your name listed below, just follow the links. There are a range of different tiers you can sign up for from as little as $1 a month, or if you pay yearly, just about $10.08 a year. A huge welcome to our newest supporters: Conrad Young, Neon Frog, Siobhan Greeny, Alan Savage, Scotty, Ray Mario, Jennifer, Nesklova, and the Lord of Chaos. Thanks for becoming part of the TE crew. If you'd like to support us with a one-off donation, you'll find links below to make Ko-fi and Bitcoin donations, and we even have an old-fashioned PO box you can reach us at. The address is also linked below. And if you're in need of some swag, you'll find our swag store also in the down below. We've got some great content coming up, so make sure you're subscribed on PeerTube or YouTube, and we'll see you again soon. We make new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you want more, the mighty algorithm thinks you'll like this video, but we here also think that this one is well worth a look. See you soon, and as always, keep evolving.